Well, hello there. It's me, Michael Sheldrake, from @MichaelSheldrake, and here's my cat, Air Potato. And we're sitting here today recording another episode of Cat Chat. It's been about a week since the last episode, and for the first time ever, I'm recording on my new mirrorless camera, my Sony ZV-E10 that I bought off Marketplace a couple of weeks ago, and have finally figured out the settings for. Hopefully nothing goes wrong, as I've never done this before, and hopefully this video gets updated, and by updated I mean uploaded. I just said the wrong thing. Hopefully the sound gets from my microphone to the camera, because I'm using this fancy new wireless microphone. It looks like it is though, and it looks like it's not overloading, so it should sound pretty good, and it should look pretty good as well. And Air Potato always looks pretty good, so that's great. Hopefully he'll stay with me. Today we're going to talk about let's think, a couple of things here today. I'd like to talk about Silver Dollar Pancake and her RTO, which is return to owner. I'd like to talk about litter box ratio and placement, like number of litter boxes per cat and stuff like that. And, you know, maybe we'll even talk about indoor, outdoor cats a bit, and if we get to it, I have some other topics as well. But diving right in, I'd like to talk about Silver Dollar Pancake, our current foster mama. You may be watching her on our 24/7 live stream in the kitten room right now on YouTube. Her and her 6 babies are always on, and it's a lot of fun. We've really been enjoying them. I know the people in our YouTube live stream have been so happy to have kittens again, and they love to play little games, and they're all often doing their own things. They pair up to play games, so the 24/7 live stream is pretty fun right now. But our main point of contention in the world of Michael Sheldrake, TikTok and YouTube, is just that Silver Dollar Pancake, their mama, the fluffy gray one on the stream, she's a return to owner. And this means that she came to us from somebody who had, let's just say, an overwhelmed cat situation. Maybe I don't know why, I don't know this person, I don't know what led to this specific incident, but let's say she had too many cats in her home. This may have been caused by her being a bleeding heart. It may have been caused by her having these cats and being able to afford them, and eventually having a financial situation change so that she can't afford them anymore. It could be mental health issues. It could be a variety of reasons. Sometimes it's a family member dies, they take on extra cats. But either way, she had a lot of cats, more cats than this litter comprises. And at some point she got in contact with VOKRA, or someone put her in touch with VOKRA, and we convinced her, or talked her into surrendering her cats. So she surrendered all the cats, my litter of 6 plus Silver Dollar Pancake, and some other cats as well. So it was more than just our cats. It was the ones I have here and some other ones. I just happened to take this mom and her litter. Now the only little snafu in there is there were 7 kittens. And I mentioned this in the last cat chat. There were 7 kittens, but I only got 6 of them. And when we called them up, they said, oh, you know, one of them must have got lost under the bed type of thing. And we found her, you can come pick her up. So I had a time set to come pick that kitten up and everything. And I don't know what this kitten looks like. I don't even know if it's a boy or a girl. I did call it a her, but I can't tell you for sure exactly what it was, because I never met it. I think it was a tabby or a black or a tuxedo, but I'm not 100% sure. I might be wrong about that. That's just what I heard through the grapevine. And anyway, and then a little while after that, when I already had a time and address to go pick her up, she got back to us and said, oh, you know, actually I'm going to keep the kitten, the other kitten, the 7th kitten. And, you know, a lot of people have found that they're feeling upset about the fact that she's kept this other cat. But there's one thing that I have to get across to people here about what we do. We're a volunteer-run organization. We are not affiliated with the government. The local government does tell people to contact us with their cat problems, which is a story for another day. They shouldn't be doing that. They should be funding us if they want us to take on their issues. But we're not affiliated with the local government currently. So what we do is just volunteer cat rescue work. So when somebody has a cat that they're surrendering, they don't have to give it to us. There's no law that says they have to give it to us. It's all of their own free will. We're helping them. We're using our money to help them. They don't have to give us their cat. And if they give us the mom cat, in this case, Silver Dollar Pancake, and her kittens to raise the kittens, and they want their cat back when she's done raising the kittens, then that's their prerogative. We cannot take their cat. That's stealing. We don't want VOKRA to go to jail, so we can't steal people's cats. We don't want to get sued. And it's not usually an animosity situation anyway, because most people who are surrendering their cats aren't doing it because they hate us or we've, somehow tricked them or something like that. It's usually someone who realizes that they need the help, or they're so overwhelmed that they don't know what to do, and they reluctantly let us help them. But at the end of the day, if they, loan us their mama cat to help raise their kittens and help them get adopted, and she's in our program to help her get spayed so that pet owner can be responsible and have a spayed cat when she returns and not have this happen again, that's fine. That's what we do. Our only small concern right now is just that she won't get the baby spayed, but apparently our people are working on that, convincing her. I don't know if she's actually given them any trouble. Maybe she's already agreed to do it. That isn't my job with VOKRA. My job is to look after the little cats and get them adopted. Well, I have another job too, and that's being on the board of directors, but the board of directors also doesn't deal with the people directly about whether or not they're going to get their pet spayed. That's more of our I guess intake team and trapping team and stuff who deal with that sort of thing, and that's not me. I'm a kitten birthing expert. So anyway, Silver Dollar Pancake does have a home. She will not be adopted. She will go back to her home, and she will go back to her home fixed so this problem doesn't happen again. And to me, that's a win. We let someone continue to love their cat. They did the right thing bringing her to us, and we're doing the right thing giving her back her cat, continuing our lovely public image, which isn't always perfect, because in rescue you do end up breaking a few eggs here and there. Like, if you think someone's being abusive or something, you might have to go to the authorities, or you can't relinquish the cat back if you think they're going to not treat it right or something like that, and then you can maybe get into a fight. But this isn't one where there should be a fight, and there won't be, and she'll go back, and that's okay. So I just want to make sure everyone understands that and is okay with it, that A, we can't steal their cat, B, we're going to help her get it fixed under our, program for helping people get their cats fixed. And C, she's going to go back home, because as far as we can tell, it is a reasonable home for 1 to 2 cats. It's just not a reasonable home for 15 cats. So there you go. Nothing to worry about. So moving right along, we're still patting Air Potato. This lovely guy's managed to stay here, and my rinsed timber overalls are a little bit blending in with his fur. I don't know what this is going to look like. I know that I usually record downstairs in my media room. Today I'm recording upstairs in my living room, and all the lighting in here is warm lighting, whereas downstairs it's kind of a daylight color. Up here it's warm, so maybe I look pretty orange. Maybe I look like I ate too many carrots, and that's just fine with me, because one time when I was a little kid, apparently I did eat too many carrots and I looked a little bit orange, which I didn't think was a thing. I thought they were lying to me, but apparently that's a thing. So maybe I love them carrots. So one thing someone brought up to me that I wanted to talk about at some point in time is the litter box ratio and placement. There's been discussion. A lot of people are a lot more concerned for the aesthetics of their house than maybe the bathroom well-being of their cats. And this might be you, and this isn't a judgment, okay? I know a lot of you one litter box people. No matter how many cats you have a small apartment, housing costs are expensive, inflation is rampant, everything's going terribly. But I just want to talk about my preferences, rescue preferences, the type of things that are going to lead you to success in bathroom habits with cats, especially if they're a little bit difficult. I can't solve all your problems. I've got a cat who pees outside of her litter box once in a while, and I've never been able to solve it. And that's Friday. And, you know, her preferred spot is the downstairs shower if she's going to go outside the litter box. But the odd time she has another mistake too. In the shower, I don't care. I can rinse that down. But otherwise, having well-placed litter boxes will do a couple things. One, it'll help your cat feel comfortable using the litter box. Two, each individual litter box doesn't get overwhelmed with poop, so you don't end up with a stinky, nasty, fully saturated box. Now, if you're dealing with one cat, there's not a lot to worry about in that regard. You're not often going to be having your litter box saturated with pee and poo, because you have one cat. You get 1 to 2 poops a day, a few pees, that's it. Now, the caveat there is that you have to scoop your poops every damn day. If you're not scooping your poops once a day, then if the litter box smells, that's your fault. I don't think there's even an excuse for not scooping it more than every 2 days. I think you have to scoop it every one. If you're waiting longer than 2 days, you're not doing your little friend the full service they deserve. I think I hate to admit this, but when I got my first cat Friday, back in the day, sometimes I left it longer than the 2 days. I just didn't really, I was lazy, living on my own, a bachelor, and I just was, you know, didn't get around to it often enough, maybe every 2, 3, 4 days. And it would get stinky sometimes. But what I've learned through being the kitten farmer is now that I have this habit ingrained in my life of scooping the poops once per day, which some people like to scoop it a lot more than me too. So I'm like an averagey guy. But anyway, what I've learned through this new ingrained habit that I've developed of scooping the poops once a day is it's really bloody easy to scoop the poops every day, especially if you have enough litter boxes. It's actually less work because you just go to the litter box and it's not totally trashed, and you're just like, ah, poop, poop, and shake out the pea fluff, and you're good. That is, if you're using pellet litter. It's probably even easier if you're using clumping litter, but I prefer the pellet litter myself. I like how it handles the pee smell a lot more than the clumping litters, and I find that you have to actually clean out the litter box a lot less often. It seems to pick everything up and take it with it when you throw it out, so the litter box doesn't really get that dirty unless they have diarrhea or something. So the common thought on the number of litter boxes for your house, and I'm sure most of you have heard this before, but if you haven't, the common thought is n+1, with n being the number of cats you have in the house. So say you have one cat, they would say the ideal number of litter boxes is 2, and that seems a little counterproductive. Like, why would they need more than one bathroom? But the ideal number for one cat is 2 litter boxes. For 2 cats, it would be 3 litter boxes. For 15 cats, it would be 16 litter boxes, and so on. Now, I think that there's a bit of a diminishing returns. I think if you had, 15 cats, you could probably get away with 10 litter boxes. That's nuts. I don't have that many cats. If you have, over 8 cats permanent in your house and you wanted to comment on your litter box situation, please chat about it in the comments. I'd love to hear your experiences about that. But for me, I have 3 cats. I have Air Potato, Friday, and Pee-wee. And currently in our house, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 litter boxes. So we have 5 litter boxes for 3 cats, which is probably one more than we need, honestly. But we have the automatic litter box, and I never really took away our other 4th litter box when I added the automatic one. You might, don't leave me, Air Potato. No, I'm cat free. Anyway. So when we got the automatic litter box, I wasn't sure if I was going to keep it, and I set it up, and I do like it. You might have seen my unboxing video of that on TikTok. But we have that, and we have another litter box in here, and they still both get used, so I do it. But the way I like to lay out my litter boxes personally is I like to think about laying them out on both ends of the house. Like I live in a detached house, so this is the front of my house behind me, and then the back of the house is there. So I have one box behind this couch, and that's a covered box, which the cats don't tend to prefer covered boxes, by the way. They do tend to prefer uncovered boxes. Some cats will do covered, but they prefer uncovered. That's a covered box. It's one my sister bought me for Christmas some time ago, and they do use it, so I keep it. And then on the other side of the house, nearer to the back door, I have an uncovered box. And between these two boxes, they can mark the entire length of the house. So if you think about it like an animal, like a wolf or something, or a dog trying to mark their territory, and I'm not sure if cats feel this way or not, but sometimes I think they might. They can have their scent at the front of the house and the back. So the entire house is covered as their territory with scent. Now, if you had a really wide house, you might want to go front, back, and then side in kind of a triangle, or even like 4 boxes scenario, depending. And I find that they use both. And if they're using both, I mean, they should both be there, because what if, you know, if I only had the one here and they wanted to use that one, maybe they pee on the floor near the door, which has happened to me at least once. So then maybe that's why, I don't know. And then my other litter box, I also have the auto boxes right here, but then downstairs I have the same thing. One in the front of the house and one in the back, and all of them get used. And one of the funniest things about it is I find that on a month-to-month basis, the litter boxes that they're using actually changes. Like, they kind of go through phases of, oh, we're going to use the basement litter boxes a lot. Oh, we're using the back of the basement a lot right now. We're using the front of the basement a lot. We're using the back door litter box. We're using the front door litter box. You know, oh, we're using the automatic litter box this week. It's almost like they have a habit of following each other around, because usually I get one litter box that's a little bit more annihilated than the others. But because there's enough litter boxes spreading it around, no individual box is so awful that it becomes a chore. When they're only partially used, it's really easy to clean them. So clean them every day. And my next tip about placement is, I think that you would want to have your litter box where you think they're going to go. You know, I know that sounds like kind of intuitive, but if you know, if you think the cat's gonna like hang out on the porch, like the enclosed porch a lot, and they probably don't want their litter box right there, but they might want it nearby so they can just saunter over and use their litter box and get back to their spot. Some people are saying the cats like to be able to survey their surroundings, so maybe they want to be like in a corner where they have a good outlook. You want to make sure they're comfortable using the box. You want to maybe start off with a covered one and an uncovered one and see which one they use. Maybe one cat likes to be covered and not exposed, whereas another cat likes to be out there showing you their booty while they go. And believe me, some cats do. They'll look you right in the eye while they poop. They will. They'll just look you right in the eye and poop. And you know they know they're making you uncomfortable, but they still do it. They don't mind. They're little psychopaths, and we know that. We know that. So yeah, now the other issue with litter boxes I find is a lot of people find them unsightly. They don't want them in their house. But truthfully, I think that having a happy, satisfied cat with good washroom habits is a lot more important than the looks of your house. And some people try to do the litter box is hidden in furniture thing. That's okay, all well and good. But when you hide them in furniture, you're going to forget to scoop them often enough. It's going to become onerous to scoop them because you have to open them, pull them out, blah, blah, blah. If you have good habits, maybe it'll work. But it will also trap the smell in a lot more. It'll trap the smell in even more than a normal enclosed litter box. These like furniture ones, it's like an enclosure with a door and blah, blah, blah. Litter box is tucked at the back of it. It's probably like really horribly stinky for the cats. And we know that cats tend to like really dirty litter boxes or the overwhelming smell of their own piss and shit. So that's not ideal. Stop being afraid of having litter boxes in your house. Your company won't mind. Maybe put it behind the couch, but keep it, put it somewhere good. And as long as you scoop it every day and use the right type of litter, nothing's going to smell. So good habits, good placement, enough litter boxes, and everything should go good aside from medical issues that cause your cat difficulties in other ways. So hopefully I didn't offend anyone with that. But if maybe you need to take a look in the mirror and think about your scooping habits and improve them. I know I did, and I'm a lot happier now than I used to be. And now if I forget one day, and it does happen still, I've got a baby, I've got a life, I got a job, I'm a kitten farmer, blah, blah, blah. Once in a while I forget to scoop, and I'm like, look at this mess. It's on me. I fucked up. I should have been scooping it, and I'm sure Friday or Potato and Pea, we think exactly the same thing. So they'll thank you if you scoop. Make sure you get a great scoop. I like a big scoop. I like to shake with a nice big scoop. I make sure I have the best scoops. Currently, one of my scoops, I hate it. I don't even like it, so I'm thinking of getting another one. I actually keep plastic bin of litter next to each of my litter boxes. I'm a bit of a nerd. I don't like to, walk back and get more litter. I have like a little plastic garbage can with a lid, like subtle looking, next to every litter box. I can open it up and there's a scoop in each one. I don't have to carry the scoop around. Each litter box, there's a scoop nearby. They're not that expensive, and if you're a kitten farmer, people send them to you anyway. But yeah, get nice little setups. Make it easy for yourself, and you'll find you have a lot more success. Make it easy for yourself and for your cats. Anyway, I'll move on because I think I'm being a little bit obsessive about the litter box thing, but it did come up, and I feel like people wanted to talk about it. So there you go. There's my take on the litter box thing. Maybe that'll help you out, or maybe that'll spur you into your own magical action and figure out a solution that works even better for your family. Another topic that I've had come up a little bit lately, and I realize we're into the nuts and bolts of cats here in this chat. May not be as fun as usual, but we're getting into some good stuff here, is the indoor versus outdoor cats thing. And that's a hot button issue in the world of cat people. And this is funny. I don't know if you guys will know this. Maybe the people who watch my channel who are from Europe might know this, but maybe not the North Americans. But the way Cat Rescue thinks about cats here versus how they think about it in, say, England is very different in the indoor-outdoor sense. In North America, when we have cats and they get adopted from rescues, the rescues basically make people sign a contract. That has to be an indoor cat. You can't let it outside. We know the lifespan of cats indoors is something like half of that of outdoors, 6 to 8 years on average instead of 15 to 20 years on average type of thing. So here we really truly believe in all cats have to be indoors only, and we have a ton of success bringing cats that are outdoor cats to indoors and never letting them out again, and we don't struggle with that. A lot of people are like, oh, but they don't want to go outside, blah blah blah. If they're warm fed, blah blah blah, they get used to being inside really quickly. A lot of the mums I get are outdoor cats, and yeah, they go to the window and meow a bit, and then eventually they just stop and get comfy and they don't worry about it. And our cats have lots of fun as long as you play with them and they have you around a little bit. They don't need much more than that. And if they don't have you around, if they have a buddy cat who they get along with, they're fine with that too. So North America likes indoor cats. But on the other side, was very weird for me when I found out, is in the UK, a lot of the rescues say they won't adopt you a cat unless you have outdoor access for them. What? They're unless you let your cats out, we don't want to adopt you unless you have the right home with the garden access. And I found that very weird because, imagine think of my Pee-wee cat, my fluffy little angel whom I love, who I hand raised. She was born into my hands and I raised her, bottle fed her through her medical conditions. Imagine her going outside. Imagine her being alone outside. I can barely even think about it without getting upset. And she decides to walk in the road and a car runs her down, or some jerk kid gives her a kick or throws a rock at her, shoots her with a pellet gun, whatever. My baby Pee-wee, are you freaking kidding me? Not a chance. I don't want her outside. So it's really odd for me to think that in the UK, England, and maybe it's not every rescue, sorry, I'm not trying to call anyone out, but I've seen it in multiple rescues where they actually won't adopt you unless you let them outside. Well, it's the research says they live, shorter outside than they do inside. You have more vet bills. I don't get it. Now, one factor that I thought about that might come into play a little bit here is that in the UK, there are a lot fewer carnivorous predators for house cats than there are here. Now, I don't think that changes this entirely, because they still run into the issue of cats taking down too many birds. And that's a part of why I don't like outdoor cats. Is one time I was walking to my car and a lovely little house cat just screamed by and pulled a bird out of midair, jumped and pulled a bird out of midair. And I'm like, cats aren't native here. That's got to be an invasive species type behavior. And though I don't know if cats actually take enough birds to matter, I know the bird people think they do. So that's a concern too, and that's got to be a concern in the UK. There's very few carnivorous predators in the UK, and so if you're getting all these cats out there, they're going to be the predators, and maybe they're going to predate on animals that shouldn't have, or maybe it's long since done and it's too late. I don't know, but that's a concern as well. And though they don't have things like coyotes, which take a ton of cats here, coyotes, like people, there, you know, you always hear rumors of people finding coyote dens, and it's like full of collars and stuff. It's pretty gruesome stuff. Like, there's posts on our local Facebook. Oh, sorry, I saw an orange cat get taken by a coyote off the street today. Like, this is like a weekly thing. It's pretty common. So that does affect our numbers as well. But I know in my followers in England, a lot of them do keep their cats inside because they have the same concerns I do. They don't want their baby out there. And maybe if you're watching this video, you could transition your cat inside. You don't have to. I don't judge people. As long as they understand the updated risk of allowing your cat to be outside and the fact that it could affect their lifespan, if you're okay with that, I'm not a jerk. I get it. That's fine. I'm not like one of those absolutely stalwart rescue people who say you have to be perfect. No, if you want an outdoor cat and you have that risk, that's on you. If you're informed and you're okay with that risk, that's on you. I feel a little bit for the kitty. I hope the kitty survives. I hope everything goes well, but that's not really my concern, and I don't judge you for that. That's okay. But if you do end up having the same concerns as me and don't want your cat in the road and don't want people to be able to give it a kick or take it or rescue it away from you without your knowledge, go missing and you never know what happened, then you could consider transitioning your cats inside, because like I said, our rescue, we take mostly outdoor cats and move them all indoors, and we don't run into trouble. We really don't. And I've actually had one of my followers last year, I remember she had an outdoor cat and she started rescuing other cats and she wanted to be indoor cats, and she actually worked and transitioned her cat from an outdoor cat to an indoor cat successfully after watching our channel. So that made me feel really, really good. Because I think a lot of the time, people who let their cats outside, I don't think it's for the cats. Maybe some of them think it's for the cats. Maybe some of them hide behind that excuse. I think it's for the people, especially adventure catting in the harness. The way cats' floating clavicles work, they can always get out of the harness. They stay in the harness. You feel like they're stuck in the harness, but they're always only in it till they're not. And we've had a lot of people lose their cats because the harness, they got out of the harness at the park and they're not near their house. They don't know where they are. They go into the woods or the brush or whatever, and they're never seen again. And because of that, just after COVID, that was happening so often with our rescue that we had to at the board level change our rules so that we no longer allow that. We allowed that. Now, I mean, once people adopt cats, it's pretty hard to police what they do, but we officially no longer allow people to take their cats on harnesses outside, because we just had so many people crying because their cats got away. They thought they were safe in the harness until one day they're spooked at the park and they get out and they never see them again, and it was heartbreaking. So we changed our rules, and I've heard a little bit less about it since then. I think that our reach is pervasive, and I think it did change some people's minds. So that makes me feel really good about it. But I think some people even let their cats outside because they don't want to deal with the litter box. And to me, that's not really the right reason. So if that's the case, hopefully you just get yourself a nice shiny scoop, the best scoop you can, the Cadillac of litter boxes, the right kind of litter, and just start scooping and keep that baby indoors if you can, and that would be good. Because I can't imagine little Pee-wee or big old air potato out in the street for anyone to take a pot shot at. Just doesn't make me too happy. But again, if that's the lifestyle with cats, how you were raised and what you do you. Just understand that there's another side to the story, and you can think about that too. And that always makes me happy when people are informed both ways and making decisions consciously instead of just thinking something because they've never ever heard the other side of it. So yeah, we've really pretty much hit the topics that I thought we might hit today. There are more, but we're getting up to almost half an hour now, I think, so we'll move on from that. Yeah, it's been pretty fun. The things I'm going to be doing this week are I'm going to be setting up a spay date for Silver Dollar Pancake, which is not technically her real name. She has a real name, but we don't really use it publicly because since she's returned owner, we don't want anyone to be thinking anything about the owner. There's nothing negative to be thinking about them. We don't want to draw them into the spotlight. So I'll be setting up a spay date for her, hopefully getting that done. I don't know when the vets are going to have a spay date for me, whether it's going to be this week or next week, and then I'll probably have her recover here for at least a part of her stay, and then she'll be going back to her home. I'm guessing that the kittens will start to go up for adoption this week. Like maybe we'll have to make their write-ups this week and send them up for adoption. So those of you who are in my Discord, and if you're not and you want to be, we got a really great active community. The link to the Discord is in my links below, or if you want to support, the best way is Patreon. We also have TikTok. We have all sorts of things in the links below. So check that out if you like my channel and enjoy it and want to interact or support or do things in other ways. But the people in the Discord last time, it's kind of a cool thing. I outsourced all the write-ups. I let people take on a kitten, and then they were able to make the write-up. I gave them the VOKRA guidelines so that they could do a write-up for the kitten, and they submitted it in Discord, and I submitted them all, didn't make too many edits, and those were used to help them get adopted. Now, they don't always get to the website, so if you want to do that and you do it, don't be upset if it doesn't make it to the website, because sometimes the kittens just get adopted really quickly. But know that those bios do get sent to the people adopting, and they're something that we need to do. So I appreciate the people who watch the kittens on the live stream and on the TikTok videos who come forward and help me out with the work. So anyway, thanks so much for being here. Again, this is my first ever video with my new digital mirrorless camera, Sony ZV-E10, which should be 4K. Should look really clear, should be focused on my face. You can probably see every little scraggle of my beard, which I'm not sure if I want to keep or not yet. But there's mixed emotions there, and I haven't decided what to do. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. This is Cat Chat, and I am your kitten farmer, Michael Sheldrake. Catch you later. Bye.